Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 0.69% to 43,384. Ethereum up 0.95% to 3344. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our love and healing thoughts as a community are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. Looking at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we can see extreme fear is in the market, and it's been there for quite a while. Absolutely, extreme fear is a sign for buying. That's what smart money does. It looks at extreme fear and says you can't get better buying opportunities when there's extreme fear in the market. If you're an investor and you want to dollar cost average in, these are the perfect times to do so. The retail mindset is incredibly different. Retail basically thinks the price is coming down, I'm going to sell. And when the price goes up, people buy. That is the retail mindset. It's unfortunately a very expensive mindset to have, especially in the crypto market, because crypto is so incredibly volatile. I focus on sharing the smart money mindset because I want you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Rule 45 is incredibly important. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Many people, when they're new to crypto, they fall in love with their beloved alts, and hey, what's not to love? Your alts are awesome. The only problem with your alts is they get their leadership in terms of direction of price from Bitcoin. This is a seldomly known thing when people enter the crypto market. When you look at Bitcoin, what do you see? Bitcoin came up, hit some resistance, went down into a cradle of support, and then is making its way back up. It has overhead resistance, so it needs to gather sufficient strength, sufficient momentum to break through this resistance level at around 44,729. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at 43,261. We have a lot of support at the 41,933 level. You can see that we're almost into the I'm not quite sure where I'm going zone of KS 3-color analysis. I put this 3-color analysis together because many people, when they're new to the crypto market, are not quite sure where price is going. I found this was really helpful to a lot of people. I hope you like it. The logic behind those colors is this little guy, this three-way guy. Three-way guy says, if prices go down, what will I do? And there's a decision made on that if that happens. Price goes up, what will I do? And there's a decision made on that. Or price goes sideways, and what will I do? He doesn't have to be a guy, he can be a girl, he can be anything. To help with that concept, that three-way mind concept, we've got the red in here. This is light red, this is darker red. What we're actually looking at is that, for example, if Bitcoin loses its support, it could come down to 37,406. Now, why is that the case? Because Bitcoin has done this in the past, and institutions and smart money love to do technical violations. They love to break the market's confidence only to reverse it, and they've done this many times. The unfortunate thing is that many influencers have a retail mindset, not an institutional smart money mindset. When they see things like this long tail rejection here, they say, well, the bear market is in, the bull market is finished, everything is going into the toilet, and they do all of those crazy thumbnails with their mouths gaping open and skulls and heads exploding and all sorts of things. But this is the actual time to get in, and that's what we specialize in as a community. There is always money to be made, but you have to have the right mindset. I do my best to track social media And a lot of people sold this spike, and they were really angry because the price reversed. Indeed, we're coming up to a level of resistance, but if you sold that spike, how would you feel? Around 6 weeks ago, I warned our community, our beloved community, we have beloved alts and you're a beloved community, that what we were potentially expecting is a move down towards this area, which could bottom out at around 37,000. This was done on the 5th of December. We're really ahead of the crypto market in the CryptoTradingKS channel. We can see this technical violation that occurred when the last sell-off occurred. We could get something like this again. This is what the smart money does. The institutions push price down for such a long period of time. Basically, retail traders just give up, and retail investors give up, and they say, it's all over, I'm going home, I'm packing everything in, and they sell exactly at the wrong time. And it's really, really sad to see. The reason I started this community was that I wanted to guard people. Also, as you can see, this pattern plays out and has played out many times before. That's why I've done that color coding in the way that I have. I don't believe it's going to go much further down than 37,406, but I must admit, when I called the $30,000 bottom around May 16th or 17th, I missed it by $700, but I called it on that day. When we had this large spike down, I called it around this particular area. We just have to see where it plays out, but it's quite likely that we'll just form a pattern in here and we'll get a really, really strong reversal like what we did here. Please keep your eyes and ears open for that. A lot of retail influencers don't see these institutional patterns play out. Masterclass students, when you reach timing to TM2, you will get a copy of my live chart here. What we can see, looking at the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, the lowest level that we would anticipate is 26,023. That's this green line. We don't actually believe that that would occur unless we get a black swan. You can see that this green line is a fantastic buy line. It's been holding Bitcoin's price action for a long time. Typically, as Bitcoin is an exponentially moving asset, we need to keep our eye on the relative strength of Bitcoin because it will move the entire market. We can see that the RSI is really, really low, almost to that point of recovery when COVID hit and the black swan on, for example, Black Thursday actually hit the market. That was a very, very large sell-off, but it was a really quick recovery. The thing for people to understand, even in bear markets, we have massive rallies afoot. We're not in a bear market, and the particular projected top of 486,000 in the 25th of May 2022 still holds. Ted Boyston has done a really good job of putting different models together. You can find Ted at TBOYDSTO on Twitter. What you see here is the KS model, and this is Ted's interpretation of it. What you can see is the price is actually following the KS model incredibly well, and we can see the $486,000 target up here. We can see the price, even though it's coming up and coming up slowly, could still achieve this blow off top. One thing that people do not understand in the crypto space, crypto is exponential by nature, and $1 of value, $1 of volume is not required to change market cap by $1. This is absolutely misunderstood across the entire crypto universe, unfortunately. We can get incredibly wild swings in market cap by low volume, and it's really important to know when things get euphoric, when people exhibit irrational exuberance, prices can go up and get away from just about everyone. We have to be aware of this exponential nature of Bitcoin, and of course the entire crypto space. Another thing to be aware of, in the crypto market, normal candlestick pattern analysis can become invalidated really quickly. And when I say normal, that's from the stock market candlestick analysis, or stock market technical analysis, or Forex technical analysis. Basically, crypto is a market of bubbles. It's exponential by nature. It breaks all the rules of candlesticks. That's why I have updated hundreds and hundreds of years of candlestick theory and practice within the masterclass to create a crypto-only technical analysis. This is because crypto represents the next evolution in the internet, or the internet of value. It would be hard to live without the internet, and we're going to say decades from now, can you imagine living without crypto? You can just think about it like this. If you turned off the internet for just one day, how would your life be impacted? What couldn't you do? Could you not listen to music, or watch your favorite shows, or whatever, communicate with other people? We've seen that the internet has become just a fabric of society. Crypto will do the same, and you're really, really early. Masterclass students, when you get to TM6, you'll get my live chart here that I go through every day. The masterclass is teaching you the skills that I've acquired over 3+ decades. And it's also about helping you to think like I think, and passing my skills to you so you can be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. We can see the fear gauge in the stock market. The VIX has been retracing. We saw that the NASDAQ 100 hit support and rallied. We can see, like crude oil, oil is still going up. This is actually a good thing. When oil starts to collapse, we can see that there could be potential very big problems in the market. Now, we know that oil adds to inflation. We can see also that bond prices are remaining well under resistance. In fact, they're getting crushed. We can see the yields are spiking. Gold is just hovering around a resistance level, and as we said yesterday, we felt that the US dollar would come back, hit support and bounce. It's done exactly that. There are many reasons that the markets can get spooked. One of them is the incredible increase in C19 cases. We can see we can just do a refresh and it just increases by tens of thousands. It's really scary stuff. And for all our community members that are currently on lockdown or in isolation with C19, our thoughts and love are with you. We can see that there's around 326.4 million cases, and we've had a really significant spike up in the number of new cases. Let's have a look just at yesterday's figures. We can see 3.234 million cases were added yesterday globally. One of the reasons we look at the number of cases is that we're trying to determine what, if any, increases in stringency or lockdowns or closures is actually happening. You can see that as a whole, the globe has a bit of an uptick. Some countries have a downtick. Denmark is doing quite well. Mexico also. El Salvador, wow, it must be because it has Bitcoin. Bitcoin does solve it. Okay, we can see that Germany is having a bit of a trouble. So when it comes to stringency, Germany and Greece, the Philippines has had a really big spike up. And what else? France as well. These are really important things to understand. That is a ball of spaghetti, isn't it? Of course, when I said about Bitcoin with El Salvador, I was just echoing Michael Saylor's words. And be careful, Michael Saylor wants your Bitcoin. Don't sell it to him. Masterclass students, when you get to TM3, you'll get a copy of my live chart. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus the airlines and transportation indexes. We can see the airlines index in white here, thick white. This is really important. We can see that the number of cases is exploding. The stringency is increasing, but what is happening to airlines? They're actually recovering, and many of these transportation indexes are doing so as well. The reason that we go through so many charts is that the news is really misleading. And the news exists for advertisers, not for readers. The advertisers pay the bills, the readers foot the bill. So therefore, sometimes when you read, well, often when you read any particular story, it could be quite sensationalistic. For example, C-19 is ending the world. Of course, there are so many cases out there, and it is a large problem. But when we look at this reopened trade, what we're actually seeing is what are the indexes doing. If we understand this, we can go independently of the news. And who really controls the news? Of course, smart money and institutions. When looking at Bitcoin compared to inflation expectations, and Masterclass students, when you reach TM4, you'll get a copy of this chart. What we can see is inflation expectations and Bitcoin have been very highly positively correlated with each other. We've seen a bit of a divergence in here. As inflation went up, Bitcoin went down. But there are a lot of systemic reasons inside the market that Bitcoin will go up, not just in terms of its adoption, but in terms of the overall market cycle. What typically happens, because this has been 63, 64 days coming down, a lot of retail people say, I'm done. It's all over. It's just going to collapse. The real issue is that smart money looks at this and says, wow, it's getting really good now. I'm getting all my buy orders filled, and they'll start supporting the price, because when price falls too far, they want to make profit from it. Please bear this in mind. It's really, really important. One way to analyze what is happening with the CCP, Evergrande, the Chinese property market segment, is to just look at the stock market prices of these giants. 7 giant firms with sales exceeding $2.255 trillion and good old net debt of in excess of $1 trillion as well. What are we actually seeing here? Some of these prices have been recovering quite well. We're seeing Country Garden is starting to get hit, but the blue line here, Evergrande, this blue is recovering. This means that the CCP, the Chinese Communist government, has said, well, we're going to protect these firms. If not, all of these lines would just sink off a cliff. They just fall off a cliff. That's the way that things work. Masterclass students, when you get to TM5, you'll get a copy of my live chart. The most beautiful thing in life, and especially in crypto, is Rule 28. Opportunities reset daily, and they do. Every day that we're alive is a fresh and new day. It's a chance to begin again. It's a really great thing to understand. Opportunities reset daily. Let's have a look through the crypto market. You'll notice on these charts that I've got specific layouts. What I have here is the crypto, and you can see this is Bitcoin. Sitting behind every single crypto is Bitcoin's fingerprint. That's Bitcoin's price action. You can see the gravity of Bitcoin will affect every single alt. This is incredibly important to understand and realize. As Bitcoin moves, so too does the entire crypto market. One thing that you will always want to bear in mind, 99% of cryptos will fall when Bitcoin falls. 99% will rise when Bitcoin rises. If they get out of whack, if the gravity is broken, especially across the board, we can see that a large correction will be coming. When looking at Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin is starting to find a level of support. This is really important. When we know, because we drill in on Bitcoin every day, when Bitcoin gets above its resistance, it's going to look really good. And that's what resistance is all about. Resistance constrains price. It pushes it down. Support is where resistance pushes price down to. Support is really, really important concept. We can see Ethereum has basically fallen off a cliff, but this is just a beautiful buying opportunity. If you're getting into Ethereum, I would always suggest that you lean in. To understand the logic of leaning in, we have to turn to K's zone analysis. These are the 4 stages that all investors progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, the panic and the blame zone, it's all about certainty. People do the light switch effect. They have the certainty trap. They need to be certain about everything. There is no certainty in the crypto market. They want perfect timing. They want to be able to say, I timed the bottom perfectly and I timed the top perfectly. That's just luck. We don't do it as professional investors and traders. We just participate. A lot of people inside Zone 1 and Zone 2 want to capture everything, and they feel really upset if they miss some kind of move, even if it was in a crypto that they weren't paying any attention to. It's really important to get out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 as quickly as possible. This is the home of crypto stress. You do not want to be in there. Also, it's the home of losses and big losses. Moving into probability and rules is the foundation of Zone 3, which is the patience and rule zone. People can move there only with kindness and forgiveness. That kindness and forgiveness is for themselves. First, initially, it's all about forgiving the fact that there is no certainty, and a lot of people are sold a myth that they can make substantial returns with no knowledge. Do you know of any profession that allows you to walk in the door with no knowledge and no understanding and do really well? It's a fantasy. They don't exist. But scammers and con artists try to push this narrative on people. I find it really disgusting. What I do is I just tell you the truth with integrity. What you can see inside any financial market, you must know what you're doing. You must have patience. You need to have patience to withstand the negative. Yes, things will go red and you will lose money on paper. This is the cost of participation in the markets. But with rules and the right thinking, you can do really, really well. And that is the concept. It doesn't matter how much you start with, you can scale. And this is a thing that many people new to the crypto market just don't understand. They get in and they leverage up their accounts and they blow all their money. Please stay away from leverage. It will destroy your savings. Zone 3 is all about making money. Zone 4 is all about keeping money. The 2 skills are wildly different from each other. You can make money. For example, Jesse Livermore, the creator of day trading, was once upon a time one of the richest people in the world. He made $3 billion just in one day. Jesse Livermore ended up committing suicide. In his suicide note, he said, "I am not worthy." Wow, he did not have meaning. Many people idolize Jesse Livermore as a hero. I do not do so. Jesse Livermore never had real wealth. The downfall of many a wealthy person, of many a rich person, is often tied to borrowing. Bill Hwang actually lost $20 billion in 2 days. He had a net worth of around $30 billion and he lost it with leverage. If people think that even the smartest of the smart will lose under leverage at some point, it's just a thing to avoid. You don't want to win all the races and then lose the last. The losing of the last race can wipe you out, wipe out your entire future. Just keep away from leverage, please. The markets are really unforgivable. If you're actually gambling, the greatest probability that you have is that the house will win, and the house is not your house. There's a huge difference between making money, Zone 3, and Zone 4, keeping money. I can't express enough. The difference is just literally like night and day. That's why I say Rule 781, crypto technical analysis, is a skill, but it's also a philosophy. And CTKS ambassadors absolutely represent and embody the best of skill and the best of philosophy, kindness and integrity and decency. crypto technical analysis isn't just the study of chart patterns. It's about creating intergenerational wealth, not gambling at a casino. A hidden secret that is used by smart money is what is happening to your crypto. Bitcoin is happening to your crypto. When you can see Ethereum, for example, the blue line, Bitcoin's gravity is pulling Ethereum. When we look at Binance Coin, it's pulling Binance Coin. It's a gravity. It doesn't have to work 100%. They don't have to overlay like Bitcoin. In fact, if they did, you probably wouldn't want that crypto. There's got to be some degree of variance. It just makes it interesting. But also, that's what the alts are for. Bitcoin is the basic ruler of the crypto space. Even though its dominance has fallen dramatically, it doesn't matter. Bitcoin is still the standard. What we see here is Solana. We can see Solana starting to show power relative to Bitcoin. Sometimes people want to get into exotic ways of analyzing charts. For example, they could turn to candlestick pattern analysis. They could turn to all sorts of things. If you just look at the chart, just trade the chart in front of you, have a comparative analysis of what is happening with Bitcoin, you can see all the pairing that you ever need to see. But of course, with everything, you will develop your own edge. Whatever takes you into zone 3 and keeps you there is fantastic, and you should develop it and refine it. Okay, we can see Sol is coming back to a level of resistance and has just flipped down a little bit, but we know that this is what's happening with Bitcoin, and what happens with Bitcoin happens with the rest of the crypto industry. We can see ADA is under resistance. XRP looks to be turning around, as does DOT. It looks to be forming a foundation here. Luna is a bit of a lunatic at the moment. Look at it. Good on you, Luna. Just going for the moon. Looking at the next day, we can see Doge has spiked up and just now retracing. This is very common with Doge. It likes to party and it likes to get a hangover and it likes to party. Just the nature. AVAX is looking pretty good, and we can understand that as Bitcoin's price just starts to come around, I think AVAX will do quite well. SHIB is just seeking to get above this resistance. It's still a way off. Matic is looking really good technically. Litecoin still under resistance, but it's got a lot of overhead potential. It can basically move up quite nicely. Uni still under resistance. Algo starting to turn around, starting to find, you can, masterclass students using the EC method, you can see that that's starting to level out. Chainlink is also forming a nice structural pattern. Having a look at Bitcoin Cash, still under resistance. Tron looking quite interesting. As Bitcoin continues to actually move up, I think we're going to see something interesting in Tron. Decentraland, Mana, still basically just consolidating. It's going to have to get some momentum to get through this particular resistance level. But we know cryptos, they can do that really easily. Axie Infinity still under resistance, but we can see it's just following Bitcoin's price action. Ooh, what's up with Rose? Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. When we look at Rose, when I look at Rose, I see something very specific. I'll show you what I see. Ta-da! I see this. I see that Rose has done some really impressive moves up, and I see that Rose could be subject to some negative gravitational pull. It doesn't mean it's going to come down. For example, we could be at some place like this in terms of the current price action. We may be due for some really upward striking move, but the concept is always buy at levels of support. Now, you ask the question, where are the levels of support with Rose? Glad you asked. I'll show you. If I was trading Rose, what I would look at are these particular levels: 51,950, 49,665, 46,548, and 44,562, with a lower one of 39,731. I'm not actually trading Rose, but I know a couple of community members really like it, so I want to be of service to you. One thing that I would always recommend, it's really dependent on your trading method. Do you have a specific target that you want to accomplish? There are many trading styles that you can apply, and we cover those off in the masterclass. If you're doing specific styles, you may want to pick up long tail rejections and sell them when price rebounds. There's a lot of different ways to do things. You may be accumulating for the future. If that's the case, you want to buy more around long-term support levels. There are a lot of ways. I look at it this way: you're like a master chef. You have all your different ingredients in front of you, your support and resistance lines, all your CTKS methodology, and all the knowledge that you gain. And it's really a question of where do you put the buy orders and where do you put the sell orders. When we come back to KS zone analysis, the key is to get away from certainty. There is no certainty, only probabilities. And price has the probability of negative bias, because when price comes down, for example 50%, if it just goes back to that previous high, it can go up 100%. That is what it's all about. You want to take note. And another thing, a very nice community member said, he said, basically, can you teach us how to buy? And what about selling? Of course, selling is always dependent on the structure of the chart and your goals. There's so many things that come into selling, but one thing is absolutely pure gold or pure Bitcoin. When you look at any particular chart, where you buy will lock in your profit. For example, if you had bought right at this tail here, right up on, for example, the 21st of November, and you managed to hold on, then you would now be in profit. But what happened if you bought at that long tail rejection up there and then you sold down here at support? One thing is critical: it's all skill based. Having the skill is a license to print money in this market, but you must take it really, really seriously. And it's not just about having technical skill. Because crypto is so incredibly volatile, you literally need to master yourself to master the market. You always want to consider making advanced probabilistic choices. And we're just using Rose as an example, but it could be your crypto. And just let me know, just reach out and let me know what cryptos you would like me to analyze. I'm always very, very happy to look after the community. The question is, could Rose go up more? Absolutely it could. When we look at this, 11 days, 5 days, 6 days, we notice the percentages: 273, 137, 87. It's more than possible Rose could add another one of these green areas up. That means that what we're doing here could be premature. Now, this is something that you need to take note of. It's all about probabilities. What is the probability? And then it comes down to what is your risk tolerance as well, and how speculative do you want to get? There's so many issues. The most important thing, just develop your own unique edge. That is the critical thing to do. And if whatever you do works for you, I know we're just looking at Rose. I'm not suggesting you buy Rose. I don't ever suggest that you buy anything. Just do your own research and come to your own conclusions on everything. And especially don't listen to influencers shilling their own coins. That is never, ever a good thing. We'll continue to track Rose because I think it's a really, really good thought experiment, and it does make everything practical, and I love that. This is a highly practical discipline. Looking at VeChain, we can still see it's under resistance. Cosmos is doing really well. Look at Cosmos go. It's hitting and buttressing up against a level of resistance, but when it covers this off, I believe it could do very, very well if it can maintain its upward momentum. And we always say we make those three-way decisions all the time. So we're not surprised. Whatever a crypto does, we're prepared. Forewarned is forearmed, especially in crypto. It's really important. FTT starting to make its way up. But does this mean this is just going to shoot up the wall? Even when things shoot up the wall, they don't shoot up the wall. I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you something specific on FTT. What we had here is a move up by 79.34% over 7 days and 8 hours, and then in the span of basically 8 hours it came down 32%. When people think that it's spiking up and up and up, for example, when you look at this and you're playing the bars and you say, oh, I missed it, I've got to go all in and more, and then it comes down 32%. Ow, that's really nasty. And this is what cryptos do. So we always say buy at levels of support, and just make sure that you know what your edge is and you know your targets for both buying and for selling. We can see EGLD is starting to bottom out, but it's still under resistance. When it gets above resistance, and that's going to be related to Bitcoin's fingerprint, I think it could do quite well as well. ICP is still under resistance, just a little bit over, but it's not a compelling case. It's not showing a tremendous amount of strength. It's almost showing a movement like this before, kind of like that. We just have to be aware. Certainly we can have momentum that builds inside a particular crypto and it can reverse it, but overcoming a lot of sell pressure is really, really difficult. So just be aware of that. What are we looking when we see sand? Sand is starting to make a pattern of higher lows. This is looking really nice. Poor old Filecoin, just being beaten and dragged through the mud. Oh, poor old File. Get better soon, my friend. CHR, we can see CHR has been doing quite well. It could potentially come up and take out this particular level. But does that mean, that's a level around 144, does that mean we FOMO in? Definitely not. We are not a FOMO community. We're all about looking at price action through the concept that price is always going up and down and it's negatively biased. Let's have a look at Theta token. Theta is still under resistance, but it's looking a lot better than Filecoin. Ethereum Classic. It was a classic, absolutely, and at one time a king, but not looking too healthy at the moment. When looking at near, it's certainly gone far, but it's starting to come up to a resistance line. In all probability, it's going to back away from this. It's doing this short term, but we'll see if it actually causes a negative move down. Rule 444 is really, really important. Ignore tips, advice, and marketing. There is no marketing at all on the CryptoTradingKS channel. We don't market on behalf of other people. I get contacted by 10 people a day wanting to pay me money to put something on. I always say no. I'm just not interested. Basically, my concept to those people, if you've got a good project and it proves out technically, I'll talk about it, but I don't want any money for it. Basically, I've heard of different crypto influencers being for sale. I am never for sale. I'm just not interested in the concept. Let's have a look at the community favorites. VRA is coming up to resistance, but it's moving in line with Bitcoin's fingerprint. If Bitcoin manages to get above resistance, I think we could see some fireworks in VRA. The same thing with Icon. Icon is looking pretty interesting. It's actually crossed one level of resistance. VRA is still under resistance. Icon crossed its level of resistance some time ago. It's finding a level of support and consolidation down there. Maybe one to watch. Sushi is still under resistance. I know a lot of people like sushi. Well, what's not to like? Sushi's yummy. Let's look at what we're seeing here. Pattern-wise, we're seeing a series of higher lows. This is always a good thing. This is kind of what we want to see. IOTA is just consolidating in a range. KSM is still under resistance. It's following Bitcoin's fingerprint, but it's showing quite a degree of power here. Could be interesting to watch that one. RSR still under resistance for the moment. Audio finding a level of support and potentially cradling, so we'll keep our eye on that. Could be interesting. Cartesi, the spiky one in the party. What we can see with Cartesi, it could make its way if Bitcoin starts to repair up in a spiky like manner. Just beware, These spikes in Cartesi tend to shoot up. They're sell spikes. Basically, you see one of these and you're a trader, you want to sell them. You don't want to buy spikes like this if you're an investor. You want to buy it when it comes down to levels of support. I hope that helps. Yesterday, in the comments section, we talked about what are your rules. Are there any rules that you would like to share with the community? And we had a wonderful discussion. I'd just like to thank Brett. Thank you for the congratulations, my friend. Very nice of you. Brett says, I'm really enjoying the focus on kindness and the life lessons you're providing. One of the things that Brett's done is he said a really nice rule is I am worthy and unique. I deserve. And that's really beautiful. Absolutely you do. My number one rule has to be like Ken, be kind. Wow, Brett, that is so lovely. My crypto rules are, it's time to buy when everybody else is selling up. Well done. Fear is just excitement and adrenaline in disguise. Beautiful. Profit is made when you buy. Love it. And also, Brett, very kind of you to include Beardies. Don't give Michael Saylor your Bitcoin. I think it's fantastic. And Tony Beats, lessons cost money. Good lessons cost lots. Yeah, unfortunately they do. Actually, every rule that I share with you, I've spent a lot of money acquiring that rule. I share the rule because I don't want you to have to spend that money. I want you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Signs Up had a really good rule. Let price come to you. This rule on its own has saved me and made me a lot of money. That's so beautiful, my friend. I'm really, really happy for you. Another gem. Peace and love. How beautiful. That's really what all life is about. It was really interesting when I studied my finance degree at uni. It was all about greed and making money. And I always said to my professors, where's the meaning in all of this? And they said, what meaning? It's money. I said to myself when I heard that response, I'm going to change that. And I guess that's what we're doing as a community every day. It's just a beautiful thing. Crypto Turtle, my favorite rule is rule 4. Price moves in waves. Nice. Meditative mind, all about patience and timing. I also really love Aaron's idea. How can I improve how I feel about where I am? Wow, that is just beautiful. And wow, from Gabscar1, what an incredible rule. My number one rule, do not be afraid to make mistakes. Just superb. Well done, my friend. This is really, really important. In life, we can be afraid to make mistakes, but mistakes and errors and failures are just stepping stones on the path to success. They're never barriers, they're actually promoters. Wow, what a concept. Well done. It's beautiful. And for Beardy, love your new emoji. Sharing my lifetime of knowledge in the financial industry and setting people free. That's so beautiful. Well done, Ken the Disruptor. I also really love the rule, go slow to go fast. If you ever do anything, it's worth doing to the absolute best of your capabilities. I know sometimes that people want to rush ahead and they just want to get it done. But if it's half done or even 3/4 done, that's not maybe the outcome that you want. If you have to go back and rework things, that can be really problematic sometimes. When we look at Tales from the Man Cave, he said something really nice. Tales offers a suggestion. He balances out the daily updates with the masterclass videos. The concept is applying the new knowledge. This is really, really good stuff. Well done, Tales. And about the CTKS ambassador, that's the highest level designation in crypto technical analysis. Those people embody, just like KT said, they embody, show tremendous real wealth and spread that to others, passed intergenerationally. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And KT going at a slower pace is so important. Just get your foundations correct. That's the best advice I could ever give anyone. When it comes to learning, if you learn slowly but effectively, that is an absolute investment. It's all about understanding. not about just simply soaking up information. And KT said, love the community. Oh, we have such a beautiful, beautiful community, a global network of friends who haven't met, but it's really much more than that. It's literally just like an extended family. And thank you to Larry. Can you teach with such gentle passion and kindness the same way you teach in the masterclass? The real wealth segments, they are so important. There's a big, big difference between making money and keeping money. With the real wealth segments, you'll actually keep the money, but it's much, much more than that. You'll have meaning and happiness throughout your life. There are many hidden rules that we fail to pass day by day because people just don't let us know. The real wealth section actually goes through thousands of years of philosophy and puts it into a really simple framework. And it also goes through all the latest thinking on wealth and how to have a good and meaningful life. I'd also like to thank Greg for your very nice comment. The best community hanging around. Yeah, our community is just so beautiful. And Meditative Mind, the hours he dedicates to teaching us everything he knows is mind-blowing. The free gems in the daily videos is unprecedented. You can learn so much from just watching these, so imagine what's in the masterclass. There's a lot more in the masterclass. On the YouTube channel, I simply can't lay in the foundations that people require, and I can't put foundations out into the general public without knowing people have the previous lessons. That's why the masterclass is there. But of course, the daily videos are absolutely jam-packed with gems and the highest quality content on crypto technical analysis, how to make money and how to keep money. There's no shortage of things there, but if you really want to take everything to the next level, the masterclass is definitely the way. Thank you also to Lucas. Nice balance between the daily updates and the masterclass video, and it's all about practical application. That is the bottom line. The CTKS ambassador status is something to strive for, absolutely. It's the highest designation. One thing about ambassador status, you can't apply for it. I award it to people who I see immense integrity in and immense commitment. And it's something that's really, really special and very dear to my heart. Those people with ambassador status are very, very special people. The beautiful thing about ambassador status is that anybody can become an ambassador. It's just proven through actions and interactions, and of course knowledge. What a beautiful thing from Crypto No Stress. The father of crypto philosophy, Ken Stanfield. That's so beautiful. Thank you, my friend. There are so many comments, I literally cannot read them all out, but I wanted to just especially call out Cheryl. Well done. Cheryl was taking things slowly, which is always the way to go with the masterclass. The foundation section is quite onerous, and it's onerous for a very, very specific reason. To transfer 30 years of knowledge requires that you have very deep foundations. It's almost like if you were a tennis star, for example, and I was your coach, I was your tennis coach. I'm going to teach you all about hitting the ball correctly, putting the spin and the slice, the serve, the stance, all sorts of different things. And those together will be combined by you to create your own unique style. Cheryl says, love the masterclass. It's starting to click. Beautiful. And when all the concepts come together, it's like the ultimate rush. And I promise you they will. When you go through the foundation section, you may feel that you're just not going fast enough. Nothing could be further from the truth. What those foundations do is actually replace all of candlestick analysis and candlestick charting. You don't ever need to remember another candlestick pattern or name. You don't need to turn to indicators. So many different things. It is just knowledge on steroids, but it's just layered in one at a time. It takes a bit of time to go through, but when you get it, whoa, It is unbelievable. You literally look at stuff with new eyes. And Cheryl said, I started to recognize supports and resistance with great ease and was even able to plan an entry point. I wouldn't have been able to do that before. Well done, Cheryl, and well done everyone in the community. I'd just like to let you know that if you are interested in the masterclass, the link is in the description of this video. And thank you so much to Crypto Turtle for your very nice comment. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Thank you also to everybody who put comments in the comments section on YouTube. I wish I could have read them all out. They're just beautiful. Thanks everyone. And also please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the link to the masterclass. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.